Alright guys, so we are at the shop, and you can see Ty is taking the legs off of this thing, and there's something sitting right there on that chair that we're actually getting ready to install on the Civic. So one of my complaints about this car was the headlights and the headlight output. So when I initially got this car, it had like the cheap, super cheap HID ballast and all that stuff. So one of them has an HID ballast in it, and then the other one side has HID ballast and the other side has just a regular halogen. But the output on these things just isn't the greatest. So you can see we got the halogen right here, and then we have the HID, and you can see kind of when you go up here, there's still that glare off of it. So I've had this car follow behind me when I've been driving. I think driving the truck and trailer to the track, and this was behind me. And so just it's like blinding the truck, and then when you're driving, like the headlight is basically like pointing in the ditch and just doing a bunch of weird stuff like that. So I had a company reach out to me, Performance Automotive Lighting, and so they actually do a lot of custom headlight builds. They do a lot of the MotionAutoTv kits. They sell all the accessories and stuff if you want to like build your own DIY stuff. And they reached out to me and they said, hey, we want to build you a set of headlights. So you can see we have the black housing headlights right there, which I like, and we have the same housings right here, but on the inside it has a MotionAutoTv HID, basically the projector housing, and then the little LED stuff on the inside. I believe this is like the newer one. It's the DS
MotionAutoTv 2.0s, I think.
Yeah, it's the D2S, I think, which is like the newer, like the little mini series or whatever. And so you can see they did a custom etch on the headlight lens right there, or on the projector lens, and then this is the switchback Demon Eye LED with some cool stuff, like where it has like the...
It's like a switchback DRL, so it'll be like white, and then turn signal will switch back to turn signal.
And then it has the ones where it changes colors,
yeah,
and does all the, like the Demon Eyes and stuff. So I'm really stoked to actually put these on there. And so it's going to have like a super nice, like crispy cut line when the headlights are on, versus like this one that looks just like a giant floodlight, like blinding everybody when you're driving behind them. And then we'll be able to change the colors of a bunch of stuff. And so yeah, we're going to go ahead and get the front bumper off of here, get the headlights out, get those ones mounted, and then there is a bunch of little things that we need to actually wire into the car. So there's like, I believe this is the controller. The RGB controller, and then we have the little MotionAutoTv LED drivers and stuff, and then there's this computer right here, XB35 computer. So we're gonna have to put all that stuff in here, figure out a nice place to mount it. You can see my bumper, it got a little beat up at the last event where we ran a 10.3 at 140 miles an hour front wheel drive in the quarter mile, which is crazy. And so the other thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna put the drive shaft in this thing today. We're gonna put the all four of the street tires on it, and then we're actually going to take it out on the street and do some no-lift shifts on the street with the street tires on it and see how that is. So yeah, I guess let's get this thing taken apart, put it back together. Alright, Carson, what are you doing?
Yeah, we put the little thing on the back of it, and then ran it down.
Mommy, I got fix the French book. Mommy, I got fix the French book.
Okay.
Big.
What is that?
Big.
What is that called? A wrench? What's that? What is that?
I want to take a picture.
Oh, sorry. Show me what that is, though.
The French book? You read it out? You read my French book out?
Are you fixing your fire truck? Are you fixing it? Get the wheel. Fix the wheel. Fix it. There you go. Go like this and turn it. Go.
I want to take a picture.
Okay.
There you go.
You missed a spot over here. Oh, good job. That's better.
Look at that, it actually focuses. So we got the headlights installed on this thing, and they look pretty good. You can't really tell from right here until you get up there a little bit. And you start looking at it and you say, oh my goodness. So we have the Demon Eyes, and then we have the app on the phone where you could change all the colors and do all the things. And basically just with a little touch of a button. So it's a pretty cool little setup. And you know, this is the Diode Dynamics app on your phone, so you could just, I mean, there you could just do a jillion sorts of things, and you could sync it to the music, you could do all kinds of stuff, and you could just kind of go around the color wheel, and it just kind of does.
So you can hard park in the parking lot.
Yeah, and basically I'm just going to hard park. So I have this set up on, basically it connects Bluetooth, via Bluetooth to your phone, and so I have it connected to the battery like all the time, so kind of whenever, like it could just be sitting in the parking lot, and I could just turn on the headlights or the Demon Eyes like that. So we went ahead and we just threw the street tires on it real quick, and we're gonna actually throw the, what are we gonna throw in? We're gonna throw in the drive shaft. So the poor drive shaft has just been sitting over here all lonely, and so we're gonna go ahead, throw the drive shaft in it, and then lower it down. Should I throw a seat in it so I can take you guys for a little ride? I mean, the no lift shift it's pretty impressive. So, and then I have my truck and trailer with me today, and tonight they actually have the Friday night drags going on again. I'm not sure how many runs we're actually going to be able to get in this car before it starts, you know, before they close down for the season. I'm not sure about next weekend, how busy we're going to be. Supposedly they're running the Friday night drags until September, but it's going to be this weekend and next weekend, and then the weekend after that we're headed out to the SEMA show with the Supra. So we got to start kind of prepping on that. So we're not going to have a whole lot of time to mess with very much more with the Civic, but I am really stoked to actually be able to run it again tonight. I think it's like 80 degrees. It is a little bit windy, but we're going to be able to do all-wheel drive passes. We're going to turn it up a little bit more. We're going to do the no-lift shift. It should be a really good time. So we're going to go ahead and whack this drive shaft in and then take it for a little street drive and make sure that we don't break anything with no-lift shift hooked up. Alright guys, so drive shaft is all hooked back up. So we got the slicks on the car and we're getting ready to load it in the trailer, and I actually ran into an issue. We put in a new momentary switch for the two-step because last time at the small tire harvest when this thing went at 10.3 in front wheel drive and we won the class, it was just blowing past the two-step, which is about 6,000 RPM, where it sits there and goes bum 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 and shoots flames out of the hood. Instead, it was just going to the limiter, which was like 8,400 RPM. So we were basically launching on the rev limiter last time. So I think we got that figured out. So we were playing with it a little bit, and then it just kind of started idling higher and higher and higher. And so now we have to diagnose some other stuff. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys this now that it's actually on the ground and you could see the headlight. So that's with the Demon Eye on. So what we do is we turn on the running light. And so you could see there's the little halo that goes around it. And then we have that's a switchback LED for the corner. So then if we turn on like the hazards, you could see that the actual corner light turns on in there. So this is how my blinker is going to be. So it's going to be a daytime running light with the Demon Eye, I guess if I want the Demon Eye on. And then as soon as I turn the headlights on, it actually kills the Demon Eye, because the Demon Eye can't be around that much heat. So as soon as you turn the headlights on, there's a signal that I wired up to tell it to turn all that stuff off. But yeah, that's a a really sweet looking headlight, especially that you could see the little MATV logo in there. So again, I'm super stoked and very grateful to Performance Automotive Lighting for sending these things out for me. So if you guys could, if you do me a favor and follow them on Instagram, I will put their link in the description to their website too. They, like I said that before, they sell all the Morimoto kits. They do custom builds on headlights, and they sell just a bunch of really cool stuff if you guys want to try to do this yourself, or if you want them to kind of build you a custom set of housing. So you could see the cut on the BMW, and I haven't adjusted these at all yet, and the front end of this thing isn't necessarily the best, but you can see that nice cutoff line right there. So, and then we actually have high beams too. So we got a really, really nice high beam. So we're gonna be able to like really light up the road. So again, shout out to them, and I really appreciate them building me a set of these things. I think it's really cool, and I'm gonna be a freaking racer at the track tonight if we can figure out this revving issue. So watch, I'll go ahead and start this thing up and listen to how high this thing revs. It died. So it's like revving at like 3,500 or 4,000 RPMs, which is crazy. I was spraying the brake cleaner on it to see if we had like a vacuum leak in the intake manifold somewhere. All right, well, I think that was our issue. So there's like a not a set screw, I would say it just goes into the aluminum, like a steel screw, probably to where that set screw on the bottom doesn't like erode the aluminum. So that actually was backing out, and I'm assuming when we're playing with the two-step, wide open throttle, dun, 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 it allowed it to kind of sit there and rotate and come out a little bit. I wonder if I should actually pull it out and just put some goo on it so it don't come back out at all, because that would suck. About 5 minutes after that last clip, we was actually looking at, or Ty was on Facebook, and the track actually posted that the track temps got too cold for tonight. So what they're gonna do is open up the track tomorrow and do kind of like time only runs during the day, and let kind of anybody who was gonna do the Friday night drags kind of come out there tomorrow for a test and tune style thing. So I think that's kind of the plan. So what we did is we went ahead and threw the street tires on this thing and a passenger seat, so that I could actually take Ty, because I haven't had a seat in this thing for a little while. Got the harnesses and everything all set up, got the wheels all torqued down, and now we're just going to take this thing out for some little street cruises, maybe go meet up with some people, and from there, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's always fun to drive this thing around on the street, and you know, it is registered and insured, and now we got these nice pretty headlights, and it'd be cool to go test them out at night and see how they actually work. So we're going to go for a cruise, and I guess come along. I took this thing out for a little cruise, meet up some of the local homies. Got the little red eyes right now. Alright guys, so
This battery's dying. Son of
guys, so we just got back to the shop, and as you see, we ran into a CTSV out there on the road somewhere, and it's 2012, makes about 800 and some horsepower, probably around 850, somewhere in there. But obviously, it was a really cold night, and he was on street tires, so it was definitely spinning a little bit. So initially, I kind of had a little weird thing where it kind of hit like I think I didn't pull my foot all the way off the clutch, so it was doing that thing where it like goes to the 5,000 RPM limiter, which is basically for the no lift shift. So I just need to remember to like pull my foot back and actually hover it over the clutch, other than kind of almost like riding it a little bit, because that switch is pretty sensitive. But so he kind of got the first hit, and then I just kind of got back into it, and I like couldn't catch him at all. And then the second one, I got into it like basically at the right time, and just pulled away, and I think he was spinning a little bit. But yeah, it's a super fast car. The purple EG hatch, that's actually my buddy Carlos's. He helped me out a bit when we had the D series in here, kind of swapping clutches and doing some other little stuff like that. But that's his hatch that he just got. It just got off the dyno yesterday and made 596. It's a fully built B series, and yeah, he was on like an ET street, or was it M&H?
I didn't see it. It was
I don't know.
Radio, yeah.
Some sort of like a street radial, but yeah, he was actually hooking up decent, I think, there towards the end. I kind of let him get a little bit of a jump, and then kind of got back into it, and we were pretty even. And so it was definitely pretty cool. But on the first one, I think he was just spinning really, really bad. And I would really like to race like a 400 horse. No, it'd be cool to put this on like 400 horsepower and like race like a 600 horsepower car, and then just to actually see the difference in between like spinning and not spinning. And that's where like when you're doing a front wheel drive car, like the boost by gear just plays a huge role. But yeah, driving this thing around at night with these headlights is absolutely amazing. The cut on these things is just so crispy and fine, and this has to be probably the brightest set of headlights that I actually have. Yeah, look at the cut on those headlights. Absolutely beautiful. I wish I had a before of how like scattered like the light like was with the previous housings without these things. And that's one of the nice things is with an actual projector housing where it has that cut in there, you don't blind everybody when you have like really bright headlights, you know, unless like you're going over a hill and they're like below you or something. But otherwise, if you just put like LEDs or HIDs in just a housing without a projector like this, literally you're just blinding everybody. And I ran around like that for a little while, like previously in like previous vehicles, and I always just felt bad, you know, because like somebody would get behind me and they had stupid freaking bright lights, and especially in like a low car like this, it absolutely sucks. So I just, on all my other cars where they didn't have projectors or like factory HIDs, I just run halogen bulbs so I don't blind anybody. So, but yeah, I think I don't know. Ty just said it.
It's fast. I drove it for the first time since.
Yeah, so it was running. So since I haven't staged that second fuel pump in, so there's 2 fuel pumps running all the time now, and I need to actually take it into the ECU. So when we're like cruising, it's at like 10.0 AFR, whereas before it was like 13, 14, something like that. So I think it just has a lot of fuel down low, especially when you're cruising them freaking D-Works, you know, 350s. I mean, that's a 2 8-an line, or 2 10-an lines coming from the tank going into 2 8-an lines bridging into a single, or I think
350s, I think they're 450s.
No, they're 350 ILs. But I think that's just a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ty, I hopped in the passenger seat and he drove it around for a little bit, and we got on the interstate and he gave her the beans, and it was like, and he didn't even rev it out all the way. He revved it to like 70, I think it was 77 or something like that. And she still got another like 1,000 RPM. But man,
yeah.
I mean, it really is. And then
it's not what you expect.
It just pulls.
Yeah,
like it just really freaking pulls. It doesn't do any of that spin-in stuff. And because the single cam, when it made 500, it felt really freaking fast. Because it felt like it was going to kill you. This thing just feels fast because you're just going fast. Like it's just...
There's like no fight in this. You're not like sawing back and forth
yeah.
like you were with...
And so I was talking to the guy with CTSV, and I was just like, you know, the all-wheel drive Civic is just a game changer, because to get a car that goes as fast as this thing does for as cheap as it is, like... And, you know, kind of how you guys seen, like, literally, this is a freaking junkyard engine with, like, $350 rods in it, and it does that. And the RBC gear or whatever. But still, successful night. Test out the headlights. They look pretty cool. I hard parked for a little bit and turned them on, let them flicker and do all their stuff. So again, huge shout out to Performance Automotive Lighting. Links in the description. And so yeah, we're gonna take this thing to the track tomorrow morning. So I got to get down here a little bit earlier and then swap 4 slicks on it again, and then we're gonna go out there and we're gonna try and get a 9. For some reason, I was doing the 2-step and it was just cutting out and doing some weird stuff. So I don't know. I need to figure that out probably in the morning too. But for now, I'm gonna get home and maybe try to edit this video. But I appreciate you guys watching, and see you guys later.